liars and stealers. We cannot have this in America. And the fact that this is going to most likely go to a jury trial on no crimes, that this is essentially a referendum on whether or not the jurors like Donald Trump or not, is not the American system of justice. We demand better. New York City demands better. We have the most serious crisis at our border that's causing the most insecure terrorism situation since 9/11. We need to wake up to what's important in America, start paying attention to that. Pam?
Thank you. Pam Bondi. Prior to being Attorney General of Florida, I was a career prosecutor for 18 years. I prosecuted hundreds of jury trials in a courtroom very similar to the one today. Yet I've never seen anything like this. A judge is supposed to be a neutral arbiter of facts. First of all, this case was declined by many years from the Southern District of New York, by the Department of Justice, by multiple jurisdictions. Yet they bring it on the heels of a presidential election with a convicted felon, a convicted liar, Michael Cohen, who admitted in court yesterday to being a thief. They need to prosecute Michael Cohen now for stealing from the Trump organization. I've truly never seen anything like this. That judge was sustaining the prosecution's objections, meaning agreeing with them before they could barely get the objection out of their mouth. Listen, all the rights here, I'm a prosecutor, former prosecutor, yet all the rights here go to the defendant because it's his liberty at stake, and that has not been happening in this courtroom. So let's just pray that we have jurors that see through this. When Bob Costello was trying to answer questions on cross-examination today, the prosecutors were cutting him off. They didn't want him to tell the full truth. They only wanted to cherry pick portions of his statements. They weren't letting him answer the question. Prosecutors want the truth out there. You want everything to be heard so the jurors can make a fair and reasonable decision. This case should have never, ever been brought.
If I may, just to the point that Don Jr. made, Sebastian Gorka, former deputy to the president. What is Judge Merchan hiding? Here is a 28-page document from the Southern District of New York about what? Michael Cohen and why he is a criminal. This document was meant to be brought up in court. Judge Merchan suppressed it. This is from the Southern District. 28 pages on Michael Cohen being a perjurer and a criminal. What are you hiding, Judge Merchan? Is it perhaps the fact that your daughter has just made $93 million for the Democrat Party? President Trump is being gagged. He's the leader of the opposition. He is the only person who can replace the incumbent senile old man. And we know that this judge is working on behalf of the Democrats. Why are you hiding this document, Judge Merchan? I'm going to put it on the internet today. What are you hiding, Judge Merchan? Sorry, Governor.
No. Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor of Texas. So why aren't you asking the question, when is Michael Cohen going to be indicted? He stole $60,000. Do your job. That should be the headline. Number two, Alvin Bragg should be indicted. He brought someone as a witness in a case with someone he knew had committed a crime. He should be indicted. So, headline, please. Where are you, Alvin Bragg? Who's going to indict him? Who's going to indict Michael Cohen? Look, we are here to defend our Constitution, our freedoms, and we're here because we are friends of Donald Trump, the President of the United States. And when a friend is in trouble, friends have his back. The way he has been treated, you would see in Russia, you would see in China, you would see in North Korea, you would see in every little tin pot dictatorship across the world. And that's what we have here in New York, in America. If they can go after the former president of the United States of America, who has the ability and the financial resources to fight back, what happens to the average American? What happens to any of you? If the courts in New York come after any of you because of something you said, because you said something the ruling class didn't like. And that's what all these other countries are about. They shut down the ruling class. They want to be sure that anyone that speaks up against the ruling class disappears. They want Donald Trump to disappear. They want to send him to jail. They want to take him off the main stage because they know here's their biggest danger, to take in the ruling class down. No, you know why? Donald Trump is not the ruling class. Donald Trump is for every New Yorker. He's for every Texan, every state. Donald Trump has put his whole life on the line, for the American people. When he came down that escalator, he probably had no idea that he was going to be called to be the man in the gap to stand up for Americans. And he's standing up for you, even if you don't know it. I don't know who's next.
Would a member of the ruling class be facing 730 years in prison? What a pathetic question. 730 years in prison, and he's a member of the elite? That's pathetic. You're not a journalist.
So I want to say, as a former attorney general, as my previous job, and now as U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt from Missouri, I can tell you these charges should have never been brought. There's no crime. The only crime that's been unveiled through this, Soviet-style show trial is Michael Cohen, who stole money, admitted it on the stand. This is the star witness. This is the witness upon which this entire case stands. And as a legal matter, this case is a total joke. In a broader sense, you want to talk about threats to democracy? That's what this is across the street. The idea that the Democrats not only try to keep him off the ballot, Donald Trump, but now throw him in jail for the rest of his life because they know he's going to win in November. And the only way they think they can get after it is this unprecedented lawfare. We have never, ladies and gentlemen, we've never seen anything like this in this country. So I know this can kind of be normalized as you've been covering it. This is outrageous. If this were happening in any country, any other country, our State Department will be warning people not to go to that country because it's a banana republic. And more broadly speaking, let me just say this, from a political perspective, the American people see what's happening. This has added jet fuel to his campaign. You want to know why he's rising in the polls? Because the American people understand the injustice that's happening, and they don't want to see their country turn into a banana republic.
I'm Ronnie Jackson from Texas, and I just want to say real quick, make no